Welcome to the Feeding Our Young podcast. Have you ever heard of the phrase, nurses eating their young? I've heard it all the time. All throughout my time at nursing school, I've always heard that. Well, this podcast, Feeding Our Young, is more. It's a movement. It's a desire to see new nurses all ages be supported and uplifted by their peers. I've always encouraged this. I'm a baby nurse, but I've always encouraged this. It starts with me. It starts with you. It starts with everybody in this profession. So join host Eric Miller, a nurse for nearly 20 years and an adjunct clinical instructor. We could not do it without those instructors, right? An honored guest today, me. My name is Katelyn Makemson, and be ready to have your life uplifted so you can, in turn, uplift others in this community. Welcome to the Feeding Our Young podcast.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Feeding Our Young podcast. I'm going to warn you right now, this is a high energy episode. I'll tell you why, because my honored guest is high energy and she's got a lot of exciting things that she just maybe have completed. We'll get there in a second. But then also me. I've gone through, without exaggeration, a hellacious summer. I had one hell week last summer, which was echoing a hell week we last had in 2003, and just brutal. But this summer put both of those to shame. So, all that to say, I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel of that whole thing, which makes me very excited for today as well. So, between our honored guest and myself, you're going to get a lot of words. They might come rapid fire. I talk fast. I believe our honored guest talks fast. So if you need us to slow down, let us know. We won't hear you because it's already recorded, but we're going to have fun with this. So without further ado, enough flapping my gums, the one, the only Katelyn. Katelyn, welcome to studio this morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am great, my friend. So I'm going to let you take it over here. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
My name is Katelyn Makemson. I'm from on the smaller side of Alabama, in Jasper, Alabama. It's very small county, just small town, really.
Yes, and my wife and I, you're the first person, not the first person I've spoken with from Alabama, obviously, but the first person I've spoken with since my wife have been down there. And the fact that I can even say that thrills me to no end. Never had been to Alabama before, and coming down there and speaking at Bevel State, you guys, you've got something special down there, as you probably already know. And yes. I guess there's the cat's out of the bag. So where do you attend nursing school, or where did you attend nursing school?
I went to Bevel State Community College. There's 5 campuses, but I went to the Summerton campus.
Very, very cool. And so then do you have more schooling, or are you done?
Yes, so I finished my associate's degree in nursing on August 4th, so I'm done with that big one. But then me and my boyfriend and his friends, we all were like, we're just going to jump back in, and we all start on the 20th at the University of Alabama. We're doing the RN to BSN program, so that'll be a year, and then I'll have another nursing degree for my bachelor's.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I'm finding out just alongside with all y'all, because I did not know that little tidbit. So that's amazing. I'm so excited for you.
Yes, I'm excited too. We're getting all the stuff notifications on our phone, and we're like, this is a lot, but it'll be fine. We got it all figured out. We'll be good.
Well, let's finish the traditional opening questions. Katelyn, what are the 3 words you've chosen to describe nursing school, having just finished it?
Just as I described for the ADN, demanding. Always demanding, very rigorous. Everything's just rigorous. That's like one of the big things. And then also at the very, very, very end, you're gonna question it the whole time, but rewarding. I think that's my biggest word for it, just the nursing profession.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I love it. And then, do you have 3 favorite songs in life right now?
Yes, I do. So you probably already guessed it. I'm a very big Christian. So I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget them, because you told me that, and I was like, sometimes when I get straightforward questions like that, Mine decides to go blank, so let me write it down. So I wrote them down. So first one above all is it's called A Life Worth Dying by Josiah Queen. Just
Mm.
kind of talks about like live a life worth dying. So live a life that you're gonna be happy with in heaven, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Live a life that you're gonna leave a legacy. Not just in like what you did, like I want to leave a legacy in the nursing career, but I also want to
Yeah.
leave a legacy of just my life in general. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Um, so that is my all-time favorite. I listen to it before every test. I listen to it before I NCLEX for my LPN license. I listen to it all the time. Like anything I have big or I have questions about, I listen to that song.
Mm.
And then the other one is called Still Waters. It goes off of Psalm 23. It's just about anxiety, leaving the anxiety away.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord's going to give you still waters to let you keep pursuing through. It's by Leanna Crawford. I absolutely love it. That's another good one. Again, like if I have any anxiety about a test or anything like that, that one just likes to calm my nerves.
Oh, nice.
And then another one, is by Lauren Daigle. I know she's very big. Leanna Crawford and Josiah Queen, they're kind of coming up in the music world.
And
I think
Leanna
they're gonna make it
Crawford.
big.
Oh my gosh, I
Yes, I
love her
love
stuff.
her. Yes, I found her about a year ago and I was like, where have I
Mm.
been? Where have I been? So, but my third one is from Lauren Daigle. It's called Trust in You because you can't do anything without trusting in the Lord. That's my whole thing on life. If I can't trust in the Lord with what I'm doing because I know in the end that's his plan for me,
Mm-hmm.
so always trust in him. Like
Mm-hmm.
just pray for it, let him guide your way. If it doesn't happen now, that doesn't mean it might not happen in 2 years or something. If you try again,
Yeah.
it might just not be his plan for you now. So I
Yeah.
always go in that. If anything deters me from schooling wise or work or just in life in general, like still trust in him because he's got a plan for you. And if something didn't work out, he's still got a plan for you. I know a lot of people don't talk about this because some people find it embarrassing, but again, this is, off of all of these trusting in him and stuff. I actually went through nursing school twice. Um,
Wow.
yes. So the first time I played softball for Bevel State,
Mm-hmm.
I got a shoulder injury from it because I was a pitcher. I went through first semester. I barely passed, you know,
Okay.
gotten
Yeah.
on to the end of the road. Barely passed first semester. I was supposed to have surgery for my shoulder. It's called vascular thoracic outlet syndrome. Not a lot of people have heard it, but it's kind of getting really bigger in like pitchers, like softball, baseball pitchers. It's always kind of been big for baseball pitchers, but it's kind of
Yeah.
starting in softball pitching. So they were supposed to go in and take out my first rib because the muscle in my shoulder was too big for my little bitty frame, pretty
Oh my
much.
gosh.
So, but on top of that, which one of, our little middle things that we might get to talk about is just some challenges in life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have a heart condition and we can talk about that later and stuff.
Okay.
Heart condition didn't let me get to have the surgery. So the surgery was going to stop me for like 2 to 4 months. Wasn't going to be able to pick anything up, the weightlifting restrictions, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I wasn't going to be able to do nursing. Can't do clinicals if you can't pick anything up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then once I realized I wasn't going to have surgery, it was too late to re-register. So
Oh.
I took a semester off and I was like, you know what? It's okay. I took 21 credits at Bevel State, finished my last season of softball, and graduated with my associates in science. I was like, okay, this is his plan right now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me just go back into second semester. So I reinstated in the second semester. Don't know what I was thinking because going from finally figuring out nursing school, like how to study for nursing school, to back to 6 academic classes and then back trying to figure out the nursing school way, it wrecked me. I
Yeah.
barely failed, but I was like, you know what? That's fine too. I can go back. So what
Mm.
I did, so I did that second semester in the summer semester at the Summerton campus.
Mm-hmm.
In the fall, I was like, I don't know what to do. It's too late to try to reinstate for the fall at Summerton. I don't know what to do. So I got to looking at Bevel stuff, and they have a phlebotomy course. It's a 10-week course. I
Okay.
said, this will help me. I said, even if I don't go get my license, I'll know how to stick somebody. I'll know how to straight stick. This will help me get comfortable being around like a needle to stick them. I said, this will help me. I said, this can fill my time. This will help me. So that's what I did. I did the 10-week course in the fall, and then I reinstated and got back into the Summiton program, and then I did my 2 years and I'm done. So that's just some things that, a lot of people don't want to talk about, like their trials and all those
Yeah.
tribulations and stuff like that. But that's open to me because it's life. We all got
Yeah.
stuff that tears us down in life. So that's just, I don't know, that's something I go through. Like, I got set back so many times, but I persevered and went through it.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're already inspiring me. We're not even 10 minutes into your episode here. This is incredible. No, and I thank you for that, because you reminded me too, I go back to when our first son died. We were here, I was chasing prereqs for nursing school.
Mhm.
And same thing, I was like, no, I can't, like, I got this great spot, da da da. So I was going to go and push forward and get it done. And I had to take off 6 months. You know what I mean? And some people are like, only 6 months, but it legitimately, like, I was ready to go.
Mhm.
I wanted to keep going.
Yes.
We moved here for this dream, and we're going to keep going, but God had other plans. And I always talked
Mhm.
about how my 2 year degree, I was jokingly told my patients, I was like, I have a 4 year, 2 year degree, because it took me 4 years to get the 2 year
Yes.
degree.
Yes,
And,
that's
but in the end, it's worth it. You go through,
mhm.
life is gonna life. And that's how we talk about it in our household. I'm like, life is gonna life. And
Mhm.
it's how you handle that, whether you've got that resilience, that grit, to then say, okay, you know what I mean? And feel the feels. It's not a like, oh,
Mhm.
well, I'm just gonna keep pressing forward and it's okay and I don't have time to grieve. No, you've got to grieve the
Yeah.
losses. Not just obviously the death of my son for that, but like you're
Mhm.
talking about, these ideas, these dreams that, like, I'm gonna get this done by this date. I got a goal. And
Mhm.
then that doesn't happen because life's. And
Mhm.
you're like, you gotta grieve that and you gotta work through that.
Mhm.
And then you're able to step back up to the plate and go, okay, I'm sorry to use the softball, I guess, straight
No,
there,
you're
but you're stepping back
good.
right back up to the plate going,
Mhm.
okay, now I'm ready to face this. Let's make this happen. So I'm not even, we're just going to dive right into your, this is, I don't care. We're doing this. I, we have our normal opening stuff, but you're already just diving into the meat. So let's just keep going. I am going to
Sorry, it
backtrack.
just flowed through.
I love it. So we're gonna backtrack just a little bit though, because I want to know a little bit more about you. You sent me a few topics you wanted to talk about. So some of the more light-hearted topics before we go back into the meat of the matter, and that is your hobbies and interests. I mean, you kind of touched on one, but what do you want to share about that?
So I like doing crafts. I like doing arts and crafts. Anything kind of DIY, I absolutely love giving it a shot. Even if it doesn't, I'm like, this does not look like what it looked on the picture, but it's fine. We'll make it work. And then my touching on like family stuff and all, but my grandmother, she does the resin cups. And she has these with like Bluetooth speakers on the bottoms and stuff like that. And she just kind of does however she wants to with them. And it's very artsy and craftsy. And I've loved going and helping her and giving her ideas and us making something that nobody else has and
Well,
that
I
kind of
have
stuff.
to. What are resin cups? I've never heard of this phrase.
Um, so it is like it can be like a 20-ounce cup, a 30-ounce cup. She does some of like the 40-ounce Stanley cups.
Okay,
And she takes resin. A lot of people use resin sometimes like on countertops.
right,
Like if you do granite or anything like that, or
right.
it can be on floors, you kind of like spread it out and that resin just hardens everything in. So what she does, sometimes she takes a cup and she sands it down. And then she will spray paint it a color that she wants, or she might just leave it bare like that.
Mm-hmm.
She decorates it how she wants, like Mod Podge and glitter somewhere. She has like a Cricut, like the vinyl Cricut, and
Yeah.
she'll Cricut something out and put it on there, like a saying, a phrase, a picture, whatever. She'll put it on there. And then after she's got everything how she wants it, she pours resin over it to harden everything in and make sure nothing moves. None of the glitter moves, none of the stickers move, that kind of stuff. And then she smooths it out. So it's just, hang on a second. So it's just like a cup like this where you can
Yeah.
like feel it and it's smooth and it's practical. She has some on the bottom. It's like a 30-ounce cup. On the bottom, it has a screw off speaker. So like
What in the
for like
what?
yes, she does that. I'm sure that's where I got my arts and crafts stuff from. Me and
That's
my little sister
incredible.
both. But I love going and helping her with that stuff. Normally she don't need my help. Normally she's like, "No, I figured this all out." And I'm like, "All right, go for it." But I love going and helping her kind of like set up at small festivals because we have a ton around Jasper and just Walker County during like October to December because you've got like Halloween festivals and then you got some around Thanksgiving and then there's a bunch of like the Christmas parades that you can set up at and stuff like that. And we love going and doing those. Um, and stuff. So I love going and helping her with that. I love going and making shirts too. I have a ton of shirts. I've went over and be like, "Hey, look, I need some vinyl and I need your Cricut. Let me make a shirt real quick." And she'll help me like figure out the design and stuff like that. And
Okay.
like I might see something on Pinterest and I'm like, "I love this shirt, but I want to make my little tweaks to it to make it just for me, you
Nice.
know?"
Yeah.
So she helps me do that because I'm like, "Does this look good?" And she'll tell me like, "No, you need to figure out something else. That does not look good. I don't know what you're thinking." And then the other days she's like, "Yes, absolutely." Or she'll give me more ideas to make it more unique, that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah.
love any and all things like that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I mean, and that leads naturally into the second thing you wanted to talk about is your family. So you're already talking about
Yes.
grandma, but what do you want to share about your family?
So I have my mom, my dad, I have a younger sister. She is 13. So she's just hitting that middle school stage, that good stuff. Um, Let's see. There's so much you can talk about them. They are absolutely amazing. They
Oh,
have pushed me and done everything that they could for me. Tuition wise, because I didn't have a job, that kind of stuff. Like they have supported me every single step of the way, even when those trials hit and I got pushed back. And they supported me through that phlebotomy class and they supported me going to getting that other degree. And they just helped me so much. And they still continue to do so. Like with my BSN, they're like, do you need any of this? How can we help you with this? That kind of stuff.
that's cool.
Um, throughout nursing school, mom would always come in and be like, "You need me to give you some questions? Pull up some questions and I'll ask them to you." So, because that's how I studied sometimes. Like, I just needed somebody to ask me questions because that was the best way I could do to study for a test was make a mock test, you know?
Yeah,
So just do practice questions and stuff like that. And she would go and do that. Or I made my own study guides out of like our PowerPoints and stuff. So that's how I also say it. I made my own study guides. I'm like, I just hand her the papers, be like, just make questions up and ask me. And
that's
let me see if I
incredible.
know them. So mom did that. Then being my fake patients for checkoffs. Like, come here, act like you got COPD or something. I need something. So, and my little sister, I would always go into her and be like, "Look, I need your help. I need you to be a fake patient. I need you just to sit there. Here's my check off sheet. And if I miss something, put a mark beside it. So I will remember it
Nice.
next time." All the way down to like Jessica helps me out with everything. That's my younger sister. From if I just ask her, she's like, "Yeah, come on, let's go do it." And I'm like, "Okay, great. Thank you so much."
Oh,
Whether it's from again, helping me with school stuff, or maybe I'm like, "Jessica, does this outfit look good?" Because I don't know. She helps me with everything. I love her so much. She's to be 13, she's so mature and she just knows
oh,
her stuff. She's got it all going on. Um, but yeah, I can't thank them enough for all they've done for me throughout the beginning. Like not
yeah,
just this last time, like fully completing nursing school, but all the way back way to when I first started at Bedlam. And that was
yeah.
back in Mm, forever ago, 2018. I started as a dual enrollment student in high school at
Okay.
Bevel. So they helped me with, because I was like, I'm a little sophomore over here. How can I take a college class right now?
Yeah.
And so she helped me as much as she could, especially trying to figure out how to do like APA format papers and all this stuff. I was like, "Mom, I don't know what I'm
Hmm.
doing." So she's helped me so much. And Dad, anything I call. Like, "Hey, look, I got this going on. I don't know what's going on in my car, something else is going on." He's there as fast as he can.
Yeah.
So, but I just can't thank any of them enough for what they've done for
Hmm.
me.
That's incredible. Do you like so because like when they're your fake patients, for example, when
Mhm.
you are in school doing lab checkoffs, doing whatever, are you picturing them? Does that kind of help give you a morale boost
Yes,
too?
yes, because I would be like, Jessica, lay right here, and here's this paper, and just read through it. And if you don't know what something says, just ask me, and I'll look at it, and I'll tell you if I got it or not,
Yeah.
and stuff. And then when I'm sitting there in lab or standing there in lab doing the check off, like with the instructor, all we had was the mannequins and stuff.
Mm.
And I'm like, it's awkward talking to those mannequins. Now,
Yeah.
some of them now, like they talk and they do stuff. I know us at Bevel have the mannequins that do give birth and do talk
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, like for our simulations. And but the other ones, you're not going to check off on one of those. They need to save those and save that battery and all that stuff for those, which is understandable. But you're just sitting there, and then they're just kind of, and you're like, hey, what's your name and date of birth? Do you have any allergies? And they're just, it's quiet. And
Yeah.
we're like, oh, okay. And you move on. So, like, I just think about Jessica and them being there, just laying there and being like, because Jessica will be like, I don't know, think of a name. And then I'll be like, okay, that's how you were talking. That's your name. We'll move on.
Oh, I love it. And I love that that support continues beyond, you know what I mean, inside the home.
Yes.
It just carries,
Yes.
you carry it with you to school, and I love that. Well, then so I have to ask then, and there are two topics here that you had separated, but I'm going to combine them and allow you to run with it. Because you've got other jobs and careers is something you want to
Hmm.
talk about, which pairs in my mind with why nursing. Because if
Hmm.
you've worked other jobs and careers, then at some point nursing came a part of what you want to do. So go ahead and just address those topics together for me, if you don't mind.
So, again, I'm very young. Just got a baby nurse, all this good stuff. I've had my LPN since about March.
Nice.
But back when I was doing all those classes to get my associates in science. My mom works in HR at the Arc of Walker County. I don't know if you've heard that. There's a bunch of ARCs out there. It is not necessarily group homes, if that
Okay.
makes sense,
Yeah.
but they're different individuals with physical and intellectual disabilities that live together. And the ARC provides staffing, housing, accommodation for them in those homes. So they are as independent as possible, but there's somebody always there to help them.
Okay.
So I got a job with them as it was called a direct care professional. So I was in those homes helping those people. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved
Yeah.
it. I've been around just a good bit of the individuals all my life. Mom started there when I was 3.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm 22 now. So all my life. So I absolutely love all of them. They're like family to us. And I love going in their homes and getting to joke around with them when they were upset and like make them happy, that kind of stuff. And so that fed into my healthcare stuff because I already knew I wanted to be a nurse at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Mom, this will help. This will help too. Because whether it was helping them eat, fixing them something to eat, changing them, helping them get a shower, that kind of stuff, I was like, this is going to help. Just making those connections with people that sometimes have hard times making connections, not
Yeah.
because they don't want to, just because, I don't know, that's just not, they don't understand that process of making a connection. Maybe they feel that connection, and inside of
Yeah.
them, they're like, yes, I know this is a connection, but they just can't express it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So, but I love coming in and just being like, hey, so and so individual, what are you doing today? And they're like, well, I'm just sitting here right now. And I'm like, all right, well, then just sit there. Like, all right, you want to go do something? Do you need something? That kind of stuff. And I just absolutely loved it. I was there for a little over 6 months. And then
Okay.
I became there's a few different hospitals in Alabama. I don't know if they do it in any other states.
Mm-hmm.
But in Alabama, they do nurse externs.
Okay.
So at Orlando Health, which it was Tenet Hospital, but now it's Orlando Health. So it's like Walker, Princeton, Brookwood, those hospitals, those sister hospitals. It is a nurse extern. So there are 3 externs, like classes. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when you start out and you're in nursing school, that's how you get the thing. You have to be in nursing school to get this job. That's kind of one of the requirements.
Mm-hmm.
You start out as an extern 1. That is more along the CNA PCT work.
Okay.
So but that goes along with you're that for first and second semester. So like you're just now getting into it. That's just kind of getting your foot through the door, that kind of stuff.
Building
Um,
a foundation, as it were.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And then once you get to that third semester, you move up to an extern two, because at Bevel, all colleges are different, but at Bevel, your first and second semester is when you do labs. So when you're done with your second semester, you have done all the checkoffs.
Okay.
So in third semester, you move up to that extern two, and you are able to do like IVs, Foley's, that kind of stuff, those skills that
Nice.
you learned because you should have already checked off on them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you start that, and then whenever you get your LPN, so some of the schools are different, but whenever you get your LPN, you you can either apply to be an LPN there, but then you have to work full time, or you're an
Mm-hmm.
LPN extern. So that is why I currently am now at Walker until my first start date for my RN position.
Okay.
You work under your LPN license, but you are also able to shadow an RN and help them do RN stuff, if that
Gotcha.
makes sense, like under their
Mm-hmm.
scope of practice as well. So you always go under your LPN scope of practice, and then like say it's blood. Now I know some hospitals LPN can give blood. At mine, we can't. Say it's blood. I can go in and help the RN give blood
Okay.
and do those practices, but they have to be in there with me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Under
It
the
kind of
RN
gives me,
license.
yes,
Yeah.
that also gives you like when or when you're a new grad and you're like, I've never done blood before, what do I even do? Like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
okay, like I have this form for lab. Do I just tube it down there to them, or do I have to walk? You know, some of that stuff that nursing school like don't teach you.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot that nursing school don't teach you. It teaches you the foundations and the patho and like, okay, this is this med, this is this med. But when you have so much to learn when you're a new grad and you actually are physically there and you actually
Mm-hmm.
physically see this stuff, you feel lost. And I'm so grateful for this extern program because starting out, I don't feel as lost. Mind you,
Yeah.
I am lost because I'm like, I have so many questions,
Yeah.
but some stuff I'm like, okay, I'm not as lost. I know what comes next. Like I know this patient is saying they got chest pain. Let's go ahead and get an EKG and see what's going on.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So I've already got those gears are working and they already kick in automatically when I see them. But the extern position has been an absolute blessing to me because also on top of, those tiers, you could work, I think it was like 4 to 6 weeks on one floor, and you could change if you wanted to. So I started on med surge because I was like, I want to see a little bit of everything. I think this will give me a good foundation to see a little bit of everything. So I started there, and my idea was like, I like the idea of ER, but I don't know if that'll work for me when I get down there. Because you never know until you like are in it. So we transferred me over there to the ER when I started as an extern too, and I haven't left. And that's where my RN position will be. So I'll stay in my little ER home.
That's incredible. Because again, like you said, you have this idea, but until you're in it, you don't know.
You don't know. So that's why I was very, very, very blessed about this extern program, is because I could, if I wanted to try ICU, I could go and try ICU. If I wanted to try a different med surg floor, because my hospital has two kind of med surg floors, um, I could take a dip in those or the other one, or I could go down to L&D and mother baby, or I could go to senior care and help them, or I could go to Jerry Psych, or I could go to Psych, that kind of stuff. There was a lot of places to go and say, because at my hospital, we have a 12-bed ER. We're small, very rural hospital. Say I wanted to go to an ICU, but I wanted to go to like a cardiac ICU. Walker doesn't have that, but they could have moved me to, I think Princeton has one. They could have moved me there to see if I could like that. If that makes sense. They worked
Yeah.
with you. It was PRN, so they worked with your schooling. School always come first for them. Um, it was just absolutely amazing, and it was a way that I could get some money coming in when
Yeah.
I was able to. Um, but
While
I
while
just,
also learning the tangible aspects of the job.
yes, like it was like everything just made sense. It was like, all right, I'm learning this stuff in school. I can hopefully apply it while I'm at work or try to figure out how I need to apply it at work. And then I'm also having an income where if I decided to go in and work as a CNA, a PCT, or an LPN, I would have had to have a full job. And that would have been like night shifts for like my first and second semester. So it would have been like, that's actually too much, and I wouldn't have time to study.
Mm.
So it was just I was talking to somebody yesterday at work and I was like, I wish everybody possible could go and be an extern because it's helped me so much. And I know so many people that's put their foot in the door for them a job
Yeah.
and stuff at where they extern at, like me. It that's why I have a job there, because I was an extern, because they knew me. I have, you know, like, and
They
they
got to
didn't
see
have to.
you work.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It's
like
the other side of
they
that quote unquote
already
interview.
Yes, they knew what I could do. They could see my strengths, my weaknesses, what they would need to help me on once I became an RN. They saw the whole aspect of me instead of me being like, well, I'm a good worker, like in an interview or something, like just face to face. But they've been able to see me when a heart attack comes in. They've seen me when a stroke has come in. They've seen me when we've had a AAA. They've seen me when we've had a baby come in with 104 fever. They've seen all the sides of how our ER works, because I've been in all of our sides helping, whether it was a float, doing this stuff. And mind you, I've still got tons to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this has given me a leg up, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at the time, and we're going to split this into a two-parter right here, right now. You guys, you don't want to miss part 2 dropping on Saturday. Katelyn's story, you've already been so inspirational, Katelyn, but your story just takes it up a notch in part 2. You guys are going to find out why she finds sanity in the insanity, and I think we'll just jump right in talking about what your future plans are. So don't miss it. Here's what's happening on the next episode of Feeding Our Young.
And like I
Yeah.
always tell all doctors about it, anybody that does come in to give me a shot, I'm like, look, this is what happens. I'm going to try to prevent it as much as possible, but just in case my heart stops, because the last time I had an episode, my heart stopped for close to 30 seconds.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah. So the thing is, like, they said that I turned gray, the pale. I didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
pulse, but I was still breathing. So that's why, like, I just have a whole list that I memorize. Like, hey, I have neurocardiogenic syncope. It causes me to pass out at pain. Needles hasn't done it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned my way around it, but just in case my heart will
Be
stop.
prepared.
Yes, just in case, I'll tell you if I'm going to pass out. I can kind of feel it before it happens, that aura,
Mm.
you know. So, and they're just looking at me like, excuse me, what? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. We're fine. Everything's going to be
But
okay.
I have to make you aware
But
of this.
fair warning, yes, because I feel like the first time I forgot or something, it would happen,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
100%.
but I just be proactive. I keep an extra thing of medicine on me in
Yeah.
case, that kind of stuff. And I wish a lot of people would do that, like with their
Yeah.
conditions and stuff.
Did you like today's episode of Feeding Our Young? Want to know more about the Feeding Our Young movement? Check out our website at feedingouryoung.org. Would you like to be featured on a future episode? Maybe have Eric bring his unique brand of encouragement to your nursing students or nurses? Please text us at 509-666-5636 or email us at info@feedingouryoung.org. We're so excited to have you return to hear our next honored guest. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Feeding Our Young LLC. Again, that's username Feeding Our Young LLC. Until next time, be encouraged and go find someone to encourage today.